Good morning, great people, and our good viewers. It's been long, and I want to thank God that we all doing well. We're doing amazing, and God has been so gracious and good. Today, we want to have a conversation, just a heart-to-heart conversation that is pertaining the war that is taking place on the world stage and what's happening behind the curtains of power. We call them power hungry tyrants who are salvaging for each other's resources. They are on each other's neck. Everyone wants to make a good thing out of any other person's resources, and others are having their own personal interesting conversations that is pertaining who should control what and what should belong to who, and why should this person get whatever he wants to get. For that and more, let's break this conversation down. So we have seen United States of America and Iran going head to head with each other. That is in terms of a conversation about Iran developing nuclear weapons, which has been an ambition of Iran for the past, I think, from 1975. They've been trying to undertake this process of coming up with a nuclear weapon, but there has been a fear that when it comes to nuclear munitions, the global stage wants to entrust that capacity and that power to, I think, a country that is responsible, because the global stage thinks that if Iran has been able to arm Hezbollah, which is a menace in the Middle East, if Iran has been able to come up with the Houthis who are found in Yemen trying to terrorize the Middle East. If Iran has done their things in Gaza, trying to arm other related global terrorist groups that are terrorizing the international global stage, I think the international community just wants to take into consideration that, look, you want to develop this nuclear weapon, but have you demonstrated to be a person of that is honor? Have you demonstrated that, look, you can take responsibility? If you have a dangerous weapon in your possession, can you be able to use that weapon for the right purpose and at the right time? Because if you have a war that the United States of America has come together with the Republic of Israel to be able to attack, let's say, the attack that went on, then within a matter of 2 minutes, within a matter of 2 hours after the attack, all the 7 countries in the Middle East have been greeted by a missile. So take a case in example that, look, now it is not all about just a war that is happening in Israel, because you have a senior official in a government who threatens another country of elimination and wipe out from the map of the world. So if you have such reckless leaders having such conversations, I think it begs a very hard question of, look, if we give you this opportunity, what can you be able to use that opportunity with? And does this really mean that the threats, the intimidations, the blackmail that you are purporting to be able to give out, can they materialize? Because a person who threatens you at once, he will threaten you for the first time, and then the next time that person might act. So there are friendly countries which are Muslim countries like United Arab Emirates that were created with approximately about 2,250 missile launch that was attacked to that country. And this is a country that they know it is a Muslim country with them, but the only problem they have is that there is an American asset that is found in this country. There is an American barracks. You know, barracks countries, superpower countries, they have they like breaking the distance if in case there is a threat and they want to be able to protect protect their interest in any given region, they come up with what we call military barracks in strategic partners that they have on board. So you ask yourself that, look, this is a country that you're fighting a war with the United States of America. You tell the people that you're going to target the American assets, but you see a missile flying on top of Burj Khalifa, which is a building that is not nearly or rounded off to, not close to being owned by the United States of America. So it begs a lot of questions that whom are you dealing with? If this person is armed, if this person is given the capacity to own these munitions, if this person is given the opportunity to be able to come up with a nuclear weapon, which from the global view and the assumption of people on the ground, they know that indeed these guys do not have a nuclear weapon. But from how they behave and the recklessness of their leaders in terms of how they converse, these are people who, if they don't have that nuclear weapon ready, they are about 2 months. They are not taking long. And for them to give in, to be able to have that is a conversation surrounding the nuclear weapon thing, and to be able to say we can pause this war for 2 months and do this and this. From my understanding, in my own perspective of understanding, I'm meant to believe that this is an enemy who wants to delay a process to be able to achieve something. And the United States of America might be paused to take a break, be able to analyze and see what is happening. But in return, upon them waking up, they might find these guys already armed, and disarming them might become a problem. So whatever is happening, because why should a country that is not ill motivated, this does not want to be a superpower country, be these I don't know, the right term to use is I don't know, to be like, it is this what I'm looking for. Obsession, the obsession of this country to have a nuclear weapon. That, look, we have come on the table to be able to have this conversation with you, but there are conversations that we are not going to touch on, because back in the days when there were conversations on Iran owning a nuclear weapon, they could come up, have a conversation, and then be able to agree that, look, we do not want to acquire a nuclear weapon, maybe for the sake of attacks, for the sake of maybe launching attacks on anybody. But we want to be able to have this thing for that is power production, other internal use. But this is a country that is coming up with a ballistic missile that can shoot in a range of 400 miles away. What is it that you look? What are you? Why should you be trusted with a nuclear weapon? And we are not saying in this story we want to be able to demonize the Iranian government. No, we do not seek to demonize the Iranian government. We just seek to understand, why should you be obsessed? What is the obsession? And a clear demonstration of you being a good person. Why don't you disarm and disconnect yourself from funding terror groups? Because by you funding a terror group, this means if you have a nuclear weapon, you can transfer the responsibility of launching that nuclear weapon to a terror group, which will, with a terror group, what a terror group will achieve, they will say they are fighting a Christian war. They will say that, look, we as this religion versus this other religion, these people are here by mistake, and we are coming to protect these people. And they threaten one other country that we will eliminate you from the map, the face of the earth. So on the side of Iran, I think there's a lot of negligence, a lot of lack of commitment. Like, you go to countries like Pakistan, These are countries with nuclear weapons, nuclear warheads. We call them nuclear warheads. And this is a country you will never find it being confronting another country. Listen to, there is a terror group that has, it doesn't. You get countries like, let's say, a case in example, like I'm looking for a better country, let's say India. India has also nuclear warheads, but they have no time of confrontations, being desperate to be identified on the global stage as a superpower country. But Iran runs a battle of being identified as a more powerful country. But as you do this, you put your citizens in a state of, you sacrifice their well-being for the sake of you achieving what you want. Because right now, if you take your time and walk yourself in Iran, as an example, you walk yourself in Iran, it is alarming, it is barbaric, it is messy, it's bad, because the citizens of this given country are going through a lot. The citizens of Iran, their currency against a dollar, it is amounting to a negative. So, and the sanctions, because of their active involvement in arming and sponsoring terror groups in the Middle East, they have been sanctioned in a way that even if they are producing this oil that we are talking about as a key thing, as a key infrastructure from their side, it's of no use, because the currency has deteriorated to a negative against a US dollar. And you look at the entire leadership of Iran, how the country is being run, and you ask yourself, what else should you do? How desperate are you to own a nuclear weapon that you can go a long way, even of staffing your citizens, but invest heavily in acquisition and manufacture of weaponry equipments to your country, purporting to protect your citizens who are dying of hunger? I think citizens, it's better to be left so that they can die of hunger. They can die let them just be killed, because you're protecting a citizen whose currency, he needs to carry that currency with a 50 kg load of a sack to be able to access bread on the market, because of the level at which the currency has deteriorated. You're producing oil, not just oil, but the highest. You account for about 15%, not 15, about 12% of the global oil, and you are adding no value. You doing like this, the development of your country is at stake. So before we castigate the United States of America and the Israelites, I want us to think in a way that, why should someone be that obsessed that, look, I'm willing to pay any price, but as long as I get a nuclear weapon, as long as I get a nuclear warhead? What is this special purpose that is making you to go that serious way? And apart from that, it has made you be so personal, and you very vicious about one religion. You personalized everything, and you feel like everything is supposed to flow your way. If it doesn't, then it is problematic. And I think, from my perspective of understanding and my perspective of view, is that where there is obsession of getting something, there is a price to be paid, or there is a goal target. And acquisition of a nuclear weapon to an Iranian government, or Iranian, or IRGC, that is Iranian, I don't know, something, GAD, Iranian Revolutionary Guards, IRGC. It is what their leaders speak on the global stage. There is a president, I think a 2006 president, who was killed in the first airstrikes of the joint military between the Epic Fury and Rising Lion operations that took him out. This guy told the international community that they are supposed to wipe out Israel from the face of the world. Oh my, that's bad, man. So if you have a leader who is having such a conversation on a global stage, directly threatening another country, directly threatening a neighbor, I think it gives us a leeway that, look, this is what is happening in the boardroom. This is what is being planned in the boardroom. That these people were brought here and they are not supposed to be here. Then you ask yourself, what is the difference on the map between the range between Israel and Iran? It's a lot. They have no... because you have to cross around two countries for you to get from Israel to Iran, and even cross a sea in between. So the obsession of saying, look, we must be able to wipe Israel out of international map, that's a direct threat, and that's the obsession of Iran moving forward and fighting too hard to be able to get that is a nuclear weapon. And then someone may ask, how is this related to economics? You've seen that this war, in a span of 7 days, there is no flow between flights moving, cargo flights moving from outside United Arab Emirates and Africa, and partly in America. So this means that at the end of the day, the war that happens, even if today South Africa fights with Lesotho, there is something that is too precious at the southern hemisphere, at the southern parts of Africa, that matters a lot to other countries. That, look, a war that can break out even between two families, there is a way it can even affect a global stage. And always the stability of the global economics is dependent on the peace that is found in the global stage. You look at a world that is going to sustain around 5 different wars. You have a war in Sudan, where Sudan is it's also a good net producer of oil and gold from Africa. You go to Congo, where there is titanium, and then there's copper, and then there's gold from that place. You go to Ukraine, a very good place where they're manufacturing fertilizer for the global stage and doing a lot. There is production of wheat and rice from those places, and then there is a war that is taking place. You come to Iran, where there is 20% of the global oil is passing through the Strait of Hormuz, and there is a war. 5 different wars. At the end of the day, the stability affects 75% of the stable pricing model, stable world economics. It is through the global world economics indicator that defines economies, growth indicators downwards. That is, in realization of an individual goal, there is a stage that sets the target, then it comes downwards. It is trickled down and it's not bottom up. When it comes to economics, it is what is it that is happening at the top. So whatever that is happening at the top currently, it is what is a performance limiter. It is limiting the growth, because if power produced is what determines the growth of an economy in any given country, and then some power, and many global countries, they use that is oil to be able to power their power plants. Some of them they are dependent, because transport sector carries a very high economic impact. So where there is no oil, or where there is a spike in oil prices, and then not only spiking but availability of this oil in any given state, any given country, or any given global stage, there is no clear flow, then it imposes a very hard nut to crack, because you need to move from one place to another, and then you need power, because most countries they have not embraced that is green energy. That is, uh, electric vehicles. And even if you're going the electrical way, you need fuel, because it is diesel that will power a generator that will give you electricity. Most people have not gone to the green side, where you've driven a vehicle that's powered by solar, powered by clean energy. So it goes a long way and it counts. And ladies and gentlemen, you can see how happening in Ukraine. You are very safe in your country, whether in Brazil, in South Africa, in Kenya, anywhere you are. You might think it does not affect you, but as time lapses, as the clock ticks, it is nearing and closing the gap closer to you. Currently in Kenya, you can go to a petrol station and be told you will fuel with 2,000. Why? It must go on record that any war that happens globally, even if today China invades Taiwan, that is when you will know that there is something that is imported from Taiwan in your country that matters the most until it should affect your economy. So, as much as we might want the war to end, but at what price? And who should bend the law? I don't think acquiring something that is a distraction, acquiring something that is dangerous. In fact, the UN General Assembly resolution of 1997 banned the use of nuclear weapons. So why should countries be in a race and be obsessed with ensuring that they get these nuclear weapons? We must be able to interrogate. We must be able to have such conversations before we begin to cascade the United States of America, the Israelites, and what have you. Because even you, if someone threatens you wherever you are, you must act. I'm not on the side of anybody, but it is on record. The threats and intimidation and blackmail of the state of Israel has been very clear. The killing of Americans in their own country and in their own embassies, it is on record. So we cannot be able to run away and then begin to castigate and demonize the United States of America for acting in a manner that they have acted. It's also a sense of protection. However, how do we get out of such a situation? Because if I am the problem in any given situation or in any given time, and I've been asked to shelve my ambition or to shelve whatever the goal that I want to achieve in any given place or in any given manner, I don't think if I'm genuine with myself, I have to be so rigid and I cannot take any change whatsoever. We need to look at the bigger picture. Because what if the same United States of America decides to drop that same very nuclear bomb that you're forcing yourself into making? And if you're not making a nuclear weapon for use of war, why should you enrich that nuclear uranium? Because a nuclear weapon is developed from enriched uranium at around, once it attains 96% to 100%, it is ready now to develop a nuclear warhead. So if you're not making it for destruction, why have you buried a nuclear that has been enriched beyond 75% and you're maintaining you don't have, and you want it enriched until the last minute? And what is it that you're hiding? So we might judge. I'm not on any side, but there are just very clear questions that we need to ask each other. And we need to be able to focus and see how best we can come out of this. The new upcoming generation of young people, we have to raise above this. I will speak to any youth, any young person who might even one day rise to be a president, because I know you are going to become. That look, the high investment in weaponry and nuclear warheads, it has got no space, because why will you fight each other? Interests can be sorted. You shelve you as a half, I shelve mine a half, and then we meet on the way. And let's stop living an illusion, fighting each other because of religion. Religion that you've not died and certified that it exists. You've never gone to heaven and come back. You've never gone to Allah and be given 72 virgins. You've never gone to... So you want to kill your brother because of an illusion. Believe in your God, serve your God, because God is great. God is the greatest of all. The God that you believe in, just believe in your God. Don't force other people to be able to come on board and believe in your God. Have your God, love your God, serve your God in your way, in accordance. But there is no God who is supreme, who is best of the best, who will advise you to engage in war. I think unless it's a fake God, because there is no God who creates people to exist and then creates others to be used as an experiment of killing, so that he can be praised. That is a fake God. So if you have your God, look at the intentions. If he created you, he created me. The intentions of him creating me, he wanted the best for me. And just the same way he created you, he wanted the best for you. So do the best that his intentions and plans for you, know that they are directly proportional to the other person. Your existence should not be a threat to the existence of another person. Because at the end of the day, a person who gives birth to a child wants the best for that child. So if you have a child as a father, and there are two of them, you will want the best for them all. There is no father who will have kids and want to kill those kids. Tell kid A, kill kid B, so that you can be powerful. I don't think so. So I hold a very strong position that, look, we can raise above these shenanigans. We can raise above these imaginations, some sort of lawlessness and small minute thinking, that we think there is one group that is more important than the other, which one is powerful than the other. That is the only way you can solve the wars on the global stage. I think that's it for now from E-Conversations. We are back with our conversations. We will be having this and more conversations more and more often. Feel free to leave us with your comment, subscribe to our channel, and this is a channel that speaks without fear or favor, and we will be back looking at extensively the proposals of ending the war in Iran, and what is the intentions of the United States of America in Iran, and why is Iran being rigid to change. These conversations are motivations, and they drive an economy of any given country. If there is a war, there is no economy, and if there is an economy, there is no war. Thank you for now, and it's a bye.